4.3, number 2. Consider the following. Okay, part A. A tree diagram to display all the possible head-tail sequences that can occur when you flip a coin 3 times. Or I'm going to flip a coin 3 times. So I'm thinking, what could happen on the first toss, second toss, third toss? Okay, so on the first toss, well, this one's out, right? Because on the first toss, you get a head, a tail, and what is that one? All right, that one's out. What about this one here? First toss, you could get a head or a tail. All right, suppose you get a head. The second toss, you could get a head or a tail, and then you could get a head or a tail. This looks like it's a possibility. This one down here, I don't think so, because you get a head or a tail, and then you get a head or a tail, and then what happens here? A head, tail, and then what's that? Okay, so this one is out. And same thing here. You can't have 1, 2, 3. You can't have 3 possibilities here. 1, 2, 3. That one's out. The only one that works is this one right here. Now, part B says, how many sequences contain exactly 2 heads? All right, I'm going to go back to this one here, and I'm going to name these things. Here's what could happen. You could get, say, a head, a tail. Then, what happens? If you get on the head on the first, you could get a head on the second toss and a tail. You could get a head and a tail. And then on the third toss, you could get a head and a tail, a head and a tail, a head and a tail, a head and a tail. So we've listed all the possible sequences. Let's just count the number that have exactly 2 heads. All right, so as I go through these, I get head, head, head. That doesn't work. 3 heads. Okay, I need 2. Exactly 2. Head, head, tails. Okay, that one works. So I'll get, what I say, head, head, tails. So that's 1. Head, head, tails. Then we could get what? Head, tail, head. Okay. Head, tail, head. Then, okay, we just did that one. Head, tail, tail doesn't work because there's 2 tails. Tail, head, head. That one works. Tail, head, head. Now the others are not going to work, right? You know that because you get a tail, tail. Right away you've got a tail, a head, a tail. That doesn't work. But then tail, tail. Okay, so I think we're done here. So I think there's 3. I'm just going to list this as 3 then. Okay, and then part C, probability of extinction. Assuming that the sequences are all equally likely, what is the probability that you will get exactly 2 heads when you toss a coin 3 times? All right, so what I want here is the probability, this is part C, probability of exactly 2 heads. Well, we just said there was, what, 3 ways to get 2 heads. So what have we got? We know it's a fraction. It's the frequency of some event over the total number of possibilities. So there's 3 ways that could happen. And how many possible things that could actually happen? How many sequences? Well, there are, actually we can just count them down here, right? You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I could have just counted down here, right? So there's 8 altogether. And it says, oh, round the answer 3 decimal places. Well, 3/8, I just know what that one is. That's 0.375 to 3 decimal places, okay? So 0.375.